Bodette here with Sport Car USA. We are setting up at the Adirondack Nationals in Lake George, New York. Hi, Lee Bodette here in Lake George, New York. We're at the Millbrook Manor on top of the roof, and we are enjoying the sights here. We're getting all set for tomorrow's action at the Adirondack National Car Show. It's Friday and Saturday. Up to 2,000 cars are expected to be here. It's going to be a fun weekend. We hope you can make it. Look for Sport Car USA because we've got tons and tons of swag we want to give to you for absolutely free. Live right now at the Adirondack Nationals in scenic Lake George, New York. We're going to be here throughout the day today and tomorrow. It's really a Friday and a Saturday show. We're expecting over 2,000 cars right now, they're telling us, so we're really anticipating seeing them all roll in. We're going to take a quick walk over there and show you in just a minute. We're here with Mark at the Adirondack National Car Show. Mark, where are you from?
Ontario, New York.
All right, what's your last name?
Johnson.
All right, well, Mark, you said this is the poor man's GTO that you're going to show us right now. It looks like a GTO to me, but it's a GT37?
Correct, that's right, GT37.
What's the story on that?
Well, what they did is, GTO was the first model. This was a secondary model, and they built this. You get a 350, 400, 455 in them. They did this so you could beat the insurance rates. Back in the day, the insurance rates were real high on the GTOs. So this is why they're around it. And they beat the insurance companies, and the insurance companies never knew about it. And these are actually about 200 pounds lighter than a goat because the goat's got the urethane bumpers on the front, and it makes it a little bit lighter and a little bit faster.
What year is it?
This is 71.
And how long have you had it?
14 years. I restored it about 3 years ago. I did a rotisserie restoration on it, and we just put a 5-speed in it last year. It originally came with a 3-speed, and it gets a little better gas mileage with a 5-speed in it, you know.
Personally, was it something where I can't afford a GTO and I'm going to get this?
No, I like unusual cars. My other Pontiac is a 77 Pontiac Can-Am, and they made like 1377 of those. Yeah. And then I have an 86 Aero Coupe 2+2, and they made like 1225 of those. So I like the oddball Pontiac stuff. You know?
I'm a Pontiac lover. I used to sell Pontiacs for like 3 years exclusively, and there's something about the Firebird, you know, the Trans Am, we'll go back to the Catalina, the Pontiac, great tradition. Sorry to see them leave.
Yes, yeah. It's too bad they cancel them, but they still have Buick around, but that's all you can do, you know.
Any problem getting parts?
No, not for this one. This one's pretty easy. My other car was, the Can-Am was real hard to get parts for because that was 1 year only. But this here, I could get anything just about out of the book, you know, and it was a lot easier to do it that way. But this car was very original when I got the car.
It's pretty amazing how you can find parts for just about anything these days.
Yeah, you can. It depends on the price, though. You know?
Yeah, did you try to keep it as original as possible?
Yeah, I mean, this one's originally was tropical lime green with gold stripe with gold interiors. And I just couldn't go with a green, tropical lime green. I just couldn't do it. So I did black with the gold stripes and changed the color of the interior. But it's all original pattern and all that in the interior. And they all came with bench seats. None of them came through with bucket seats or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm an originality kind of guy. I don't really like a lot of modifications to vehicles.
Right, yeah. The only thing I modified on this was, like I said, the 5-speed I put in it. And this originally came with 2-barrel. And I put a 4-barrel intake and carb on it. And that's about the only other modification that's made to the car.
All right. We're at the Adirondack National Car Show in beautiful Lake George, New York. With me, look who we found. It's James Cawley, who's very well known in Ticonderoga, right, James?
They tell me I am. I don't know.
Now, there's three things I want to talk to you about here at the big car show. Elvis, Batmobile, and Star Trek.
That's it.
Let's start with Elvis.
Well, for 37 years, I've toured the country as Elvis in some of the biggest productions in the country. So that's been my job.
Did you say you're kind of getting out of that now?
I'm slowing down. You know, I've been Elvis longer than he was. Let's put it that way.
Can you give us a little Elvis right now?
I would, but I'd rather not today. No.
That was good enough. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about Star Trek. You have the Enterprise set up in Ticonderoga, correct?
I do. I've got the only officially licensed Star Trek museum in the world, and you walk through the entire Starship Enterprise just the way the actors saw it every day.
How did you come about that? What interested you about the Enterprise where I got to do this?
I grew up with it as a kid like Batman, you know, watched it every day in reruns, got hooked on it, and it became a hobby, you know, one that I can now share with everybody.
Did William Shatner visit it?
He's been there 12 times.
Whoa.
He'll be back in November, yeah.
Nice, nice. Any inside information from the Star Trek series?
From Mr. Shatner? You know, we've heard a little bit about, you know, the production, you know, from him, but mostly when he comes in, he just feels like it's going back to the house he grew up in. And he connects with his fans there. He's able to sit and have private conversations on the bridge. So that's what keeps him coming.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a wonderful story. The last thing I want to talk about is behind me. It's the Batmobile, if you can believe it. Holy smoke. Absolutely gorgeous. Walk us through the Batmobile and how you acquired it and why.
Well, myself and three friends, we started to build it 3 years ago from the ground up. Again, I grew up with it as a child. It was something that I always wanted. So when I got to a point in life that I could afford to do it, I just took on the project. And thankfully, some of my friends, my Star Trek team got behind it. You know, electrical engineer, mechanics, people that have experience in that area. And then I did all the detail work. So here it is.
Wasn't there a gentleman by the name of George Barris that
George
was the
Barris.
original developer of the Batmobile?
Absolutely. George Barris had the original 1955 Lincoln Futura and then did the modifications to turn it into the Batmobile. And I believe it was 4 or 5 years ago, it was auctioned through Barrett-Jackson for about $5 million.
Wow.
So yeah, it's the stuff dreams are made of. We all want a Batmobile.
How did you find like the body and all the intricacies of the Batmobile?
Well, there's a couple places that do bodies. We had to make a lot of modifications to one of the bodies that we bought. But all of the other stuff that you see is all handmade. We did it all. All of the window trim, the arch, all the details inside the car, everything we had to make by hand because nobody's doing it and doing it correctly.
Truly amazing. I know you trucked it in here. You're offering people to sit in there for $10 and get their picture.
Yep, absolutely. We'd love to have them come over if they like Batman or just like cool cars. Come on over.
So what's next? My Three Sons?
No, we're doing the Scooby-Doo van.
I love it.
That's next.
All right. When are we going to see that?
It'll be here next year.
All right.
All right.
James Cawley from Ticonderoga, Star Trek, Batman, and Elvis, all wrapped up in one.
That's it. That's it.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
Hey, really. The Adirondack National Car Show, and we have a father-son combination, Frank and Mike, and they brought two vehicles here to the show. Tell us about this Cutlass first, Frank. It used to be yours originally, right?
Yeah, I bought it 1970, brand new.
How long did you own it?
Well, I gave it to him when he was 16.
16, so that's many years ago, right, Mike?
Yeah, he bought it brand new and gave it to me as soon as I turned 16. That was my first car. I drove it to high school the day I got my license.
So tell us all about the car. Is it original today?
No, we upgraded it. We got Detroit speed suspension on it, 455. It used to be gold on gold and gold. It's all black now. We had the interior redone, but we upgraded. So it's and it's got a 700R transmission, so it's nice to drive.
Tell us the year and what it is. It's a Cutlass, right?
Yep, 1970 Cutlass S. It's got the 455 engine, Detroit speed suspension all the way around. And it's just a nice driver, and it's got a look. A lot of people got the Chevelles and Mustangs. Not a lot of Cutlasses around, so we're a little different too, which is nice.
I'm guessing this is going to be in the family for quite a while.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
It's not for sale, that's for sure.
And there's certain things that are not for sale, and I can understand that. Now, you also brought another vehicle right next to us. Tell us what that is.
It's a 48 Chevy pickup. It's all mid-engine Corvette, supercharged. Totally redone. Totally redone. Boy, I don't even know where to start. It's chopped 2.5 inches, suicide doors, flip hood in the front, extended the bed to accommodate for the mid-engine because it had to go in the cab 8 inches. And it's got 01 Corvette suspension in the back. It's got Corvette suspension in the front. And boy, I don't know, it just goes on and on and on. You know, there's just so much done to it. But we drive it. It's got over 46,000 miles on it right now.
And Mike, he hasn't given this one up to you yet?
No, not yet. He's waiting. I'm hoping, you know. But that one there, that's been mid-engine since 2010, way before Chevy did the Corvette.
Yeah.
Now, this is pretty cool that you both go to car shows. Do you come very often?
Yeah, we had a lot of car shows. But we go long distance stuff like Kentucky, Columbus, Tennessee, and stuff like that. We like to drive them. They're all drive. They're never trailered. We always drive them.
And you're from where?
Connecticut, Wolcott, Connecticut. And we actually have 4 generations here. My dad, me, my son, and my grandson.
All right. Do they have cars here too?
Well, I let my son drive this one up.
Okay. Under the watchful eye of Dad.
Right in the rearview mirror. Stay right behind me.
All
I
right.
actually hit a squirrel on the way up, a dead squirrel, and I saw him running over. I had to call him right away. What are you doing? You couldn't swerve around it?
That's awesome. Well, Frank and Mike, thank you so much for being with us today. Glad seeing that the tradition is continuing with your family.
Yeah.
You know, getting the cars up and just letting them live forever, right?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Just having a good time and driving them.
All right.
We got a bunch of cars here though.
Yeah.
I mean, we got, what did we bring, 17? 16 or 17 cars came with us, yeah.
Nice entourage.
Yeah.
It was a great trip up. Nice ride up.
Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. Hey there, everybody. Lee Bodette with Sport Car USA. We're at the Adirondack Nationals. It's the last full day. We're expecting 1,500 plus cars here today, and we're going to beat the weather because it is supposed to rain later on, but they keep pushing it back, which is good news for all of us here at the Adirondack Nationals.